Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll continue the talk on the release stream. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to create several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Today we'll talk about another specific release stream theme and how to analyze them for yourself. Today, let's look at another common release stream, the one where you're having sex with a coworker or a friend. To dream of making love to someone you work with can be a shocking experience that leaves you feeling awkward and embarrassed when you encounter that person the next day at work. These dreams come in two broad categories. Either you're making love to someone you find very attractive and the dream feels much like a wish fulfillment dream, or you're making love to someone to whom you're not particularly or in the least bit attracted to, and you wonder why in the world you would dream such a thing. As always, the interpretation of this dream depends on the details of the actions and the feelings taking place in it. The lovemaking may be very erotic and everything goes just fine, or it may be going just fine when suddenly you're interrupted. People either enter the room or your partner abruptly gets up and leaves, or, even more shocking, your partner suddenly turns into somebody else. Then there are the dreams in which lovemaking is rather tedious or awkward or feels somewhat obligatory. Some dream analysts look at dreams of intercourse as expressing a need or a desire to come together with, to get closer to, or to embrace the qualities represented by the lover in the dream. These qualities may be qualities within the dreamer or qualities the dreamer has yet to develop. Or they might be destructive characteristics, depending, of course, upon the nature of the dream lover. Other psychoanalysts feel that if your dream shows you sexually involved with someone who is not part of your present life, the dreamscape must be using sex as a metaphor. And still other psychoanalysts see sex used as a metaphor for feelings of intimacy, acceptance, rejection, domination, and so forth. But almost as often it seems true that the person the dreamer is involved with in the dream represents either a part of yourself or a character of someone the dreamer is currently involved with. The dream of having sex with Herman, whom you haven't seen since 5th grade, may lead you to describe Herman as having been a particularly greedy, selfish, and sensitive child, and that description may help you see more clearly those traits in your new boyfriend, who has more Herman qualities than you care to recognize. Sex in such a dream can be a metaphor for the quality of intimacy in your relationship, or it could be a comment on the quality of your sexual encounter with a man who is like Herman in his sexual style. It has also been written that if your dream shows you being sexually involved with someone in your present towards whom you have no conscious feelings or attraction, then it is almost certainly a straight warning dream. Most dream analysts have found that only rarely are such dreams warning dreams. More frequently, the dreamer discovers that the dream lover is usually a characterized representation of certain traits of the dreamer's current waking life, lover, or a representation using sex as a metaphor, or a dreamer's other non-sexual relationships, either at home or at work. Infrequently, dreamers use such dream lovers to represent parts of themselves. This is why it's important to describe your dream lover and to ask yourself and no one else if that person reminds you of someone in your life or some part of yourself. There are many versions of the dream of having sex with a coworker, and the interpretations of this dream are highly varied as well. If the dream lover is a coworker to whom the dreamer has felt attracted, and if the sex in the dream works well, then the dream can be interpreted as an expression of wishes that cannot be expressed in the workplace. The dream can then be taken lightly and pleasantly. When an individual dreams of having a sexual encounter with an attractive coworker, but the dream lovemaking is complicated or interrupted, these coworkers may represent someone in the dreamer's personal life. The obstacles in the dream often are active metaphors for the difficulties the dreamer is having in a current intimate relationship. The interpretation of the dream of making love to an unattractive coworker, one the dreamer would never consider having sex with, depends entirely upon a good description of the personality and style of the dream lover, the quality of the lovemaking, and the obstacles that appear. Let's look at some examples. In our first example, we have a woman that was surprised to dream that she was in bed making love to Jack Wilson. She describes him as being very sexy, and she says that she is really enjoying herself to her great surprise. When analyzing this dream, this woman described Jack as a co-worker who was just a normal sort of guy, pleasant and friendly, but not particularly attractive to her. He was also a very reliable, cheerful fellow at work. She said she would never, ever have sex with him. She next asked herself if there was anyone in her life who was like Jack, friendly and reliable, not particularly attractive, sort of a normal sort of guy. She could not think of anyone, but then added the fact that she likes exotic, unusual men, and that she didn't know anyone else like Jack. When she asked herself to describe the quality of the lovemaking, she said it was rich and warm sex. She just couldn't believe it. She felt safe and comfortable with her dream Jack. At this point, she started to laugh and said, I'd like to feel that way with someone. I hardly ever feel really comfortable with my boyfriends or the kinds of men I usually pick. Still, it's hard to imagine Jack, maybe somebody like Jack. In our next example, we have a man who is a CEO of a firm. He had this dream where he was in his office and he called in his new assistant, Shelley. In the dream, he kissed her and unbuttoned her blouse, and she fondled him, and then she started making love. But then she, as everything was going wonderfully, she slapped him across the face, got up, put on her clothes, and left the office. The man woke up frustrated and puzzled. When this man analyzed his dream, he described Shelley as a new, young, lovely, sweet, sexy, agreeable assistant who always wanted to please. He described his action in the dream as being somewhat predatory. He knew that he was taking advantage of her and her subordinate position and of her desire to keep her job. What seemed out of character was the slap to the face. This man said he would never really do such a thing, so maybe the dream was a wish. But then why the slap in the face? The man next asked himself if there was anyone in his life who is like Shelley, in other words, who's cute, young, attractive, who's subordinate to him and to whom he takes advantage. Someone who feels it financially necessary to make sure that he is pleased. The man thought about this and came to the conclusion that the dream Shelley really reminded him of his wife. She is not as young as Shelley, but she is beautiful and is definitely subordinate, and she feels dependent and tries to please me a lot. Suddenly he thought some more about this and said that just the night before, his wife told him that she would no longer come to company dinners with him if he refused to go dancing at least once a week. He remarked that he thought it was pretty egotistical of him, but that what his wife said felt like a slap to the face. To help you analyze your dreams about making love with a coworker or a friend, ask yourself these questions. 1. Describe your dream lover using at least 3 or 4 adjectives. 2. What is the lover like in your dream? 3. Is there anyone in your life or any part of yourself that is like this dream lover? 4. Describe the action or the quality of lovemaking in the dream. 5. How are you feeling in the dream? 6. Are these feelings familiar? When have you felt this way before? 7. Is there any situation in your life that is like the one in the dream? 8. How does making love with this particular coworker describe a situation in your waking life? I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.